If you have the money and resources, do you consider developing an RPG? Yes, I would. It's always been one of my dreams to develop an RPG. And I got an offer, a proposal last week from an old friend of mine. He is a developer. He's developed some games for phones. And he's also working on a survival horror game. And I've seen gameplay footage and pictures of it, and it looks fucking amazing. Like, wow. He's from Mexico, from my city too, Guadalajara. He and I go way back, man. We've known each other for like 15 years already. Yeah, 13 years at least. And we tried working on one RPG once, and it was a long time ago. And I think it was in 2016 when he reached out. And he invited me because he wanted me to write the script for it. But he wanted to make some kind of Odin Sphere inspired game. But the director, because my friend was going to be the producer, and we have assets, we have personnel. There was this artist working in the backgrounds, very talented. This girl working on the character design, very talented too. But the director was the problem. The guy who was going to direct the game, he was a massive Souls fan. So the game was gonna be like yet another... Well, this wasn't that big of a trend back in the day. Nowadays there's a shit ton of 2D action RPGs or action games inspired by Souls. Well, back then it was kind of new. So in 2016, so this guy wanted to make us... I mean, he just... I think him and my friend just at the end of the day didn't see eye to eye with what they wanted to do. My friend... He is more on the traditional side of things. He's a big fan of Grandia, Chrono Trigger, Star Ocean, Odin Sphere. You know, but this other guy, he was a big Souls fan. He loved Final Fantasy 13. And then the name of the main character... You know how the name of the main character in Final Fantasy 13 is Lightning? Well, the name of this girl, our protagonist, was gonna be Raining. Fucking genius, right? Oh, Raining. Oh, a love letter to Lightning for Final Fantasy 13. And my friend and I were always like, you know what? Okay, let's make it inspired by Souls. Let's make it, the character is gonna be called Raining, whatever. And I was like, you know, when it comes to writing stories, I'm a bit of a control freak. This is why I don't work with publishers. I should work with publishers. Maybe my books will be more famous and I will sell more and I could make a living out of my books alone. But I just can't stand it when people want to change things from my characters or from my story, etc. So these guys wanted to change things about my original ideas for the story, and I just didn't like the name of the main character. And I insisted on that. I was like, man, we need to change the name of the main character. I mean, it's just fucking stupid. I feel uncomfortable writing a story about a girl whose name is Raining just because you love Final Fantasy 13, which I dislike. So, the project fell apart. It went nowhere. But it went nowhere mostly because my friend and the director didn't see eye to eye with certain things. And they went their separate ways. I don't even think they talk anymore. They aren't friends anymore. Something happened, and just one day I just received a phone call from my friend. He said, you know, the project's over. I was like, oh, okay, whatever. And I knew deep inside that the project was gonna go nowhere because this guy, the director, was kind of like, I don't know, man. I think he needed more. I don't want to call him an amateur, but let's call him an amateur. You know, he just didn't know what the hell he wanted to do or how he wanted to do it. So the project went to hell.